let's talk with the message of today. The message of today is that house got to sell in 10 days. I mean, that is your window of opportunity. That's just the way the internet is today. This is a screen of, this is actually from your hit counter, okay? If you go to your hit count, you'll see how many people came online to see that house. How many people, are interested in it? How many people favorite it? How many people like it? How many people are on Zillow liking it? So all of these things are important, and they all happen in the first 4 or 5 days. So this window of opportunity is critical that we strike fire and we cut our deal in 10 days. Now, a lot of agents don't want to do that because it's hard to sell it in first 10 days. That's not easy. It's kind of hard. And you're making a big commitment. And it puts the pressure on you that, hey, you better get this thing sold in the first 10 days. Well, I think we've done $22 million in the first quarter or whatever. And yeah, everything's average days on market, 10 days. So we're going to talk about all that, how we prepare this stuff. All right. So this is something I show every seller in my listing presentation. This is a standard sheet. And if you look on the top, that purple line is what is the price per square foot if a $1 million house sells in the first 10 days. And you'll see up, it's about, $249 or something like that. And then you look at the green line, and the green line is the price per square foot that it sold over the last 4, 5, 6 quarters. That's the price per square foot they sell for after 100 days. Now, a lot of the place that I work or a lot of deals that I do are in Vienna over $1 million. And the average days on market in Vienna over $1 million is 113. So I want to talk to sellers that the average days are 113, mine is 10. And this is what happens. This is what the pricing difference is if this happens. I usually stop at that and didn't go on very further because it was awkward at listing presentations to bring out too much information. Not on Zoom. On Zoom, we can flash this up, and this actually puts a number, that $1,000 a day? So this puts the number that the chart below, you can see the quarters, first quarter 220, then 219s, and you can see what the price per square foot was in the first 10 days. Then the column on the next column is what the price per square foot was if it sold between 91 and 120 days. And then, of course, what's the difference in the two? Well, 89%. Well, on $1 million home, if a home sells at 89% a year from now, or 100 days from now, then you're talking in the high 800s, maybe low 900s. So if you look at that per day, it's $1,131 a day. Now, this is from Bright. I'm not making this up. And it's actually legitimate because I'll show you some test ones that I know of personally and what happened. So if we look at this, and now I know a lot of Samson agents who are going to be teaming up with Samson agents, and I know the average isn't $1 million. The average is closer to $500,000. So a $500,000 house sells on an average of 40 days. So what is the difference in price if it sells in the first 10 days and if it sells in 40 days, or in their range, which would be 31 to 60 days? So the purple line again is what the price per square foot is if it sells in the first 10 days. The other line shows what happens if it sells within 31 to 60 days. Now that's a big difference. That's a huge difference. And what does that tell you? That if they lose that much money, if they lose 12% in 40 days, then that $500,000 seller is losing $1,500 a day. A day. Now, I may live in a house that's more than $500,000, but it would kill me to lose $1,500 a day. It would kill me. So what we need to do is we need to put a number on it. We put a number on, we're serious that we really need to get this sold the first 10 days, because in the world of the internet, If it lasts more than that 10 days and goes into 30, 40, 50, 60, 113 days, we're going to lose money. We're going to lose money big. Now, let's think about this. Could you imagine a $525,000 house, if it sat on the market for 50 days, falling somewhere in the fours, probably 475? I could see that. I could see it losing 10% in 50 days. Well, $50,000 in 50 days is $1,000 a day. So again, we're talking $1,000 a day. So this is really powerful, and Zoom gives us the opportunity to point this out to the seller and make sure that we're all on the same page, that it really is a world that our hair is on fire. We need to do things in 10 days. It's not 1984 anymore. It's not, well, let's put it on and see what happens and we'll do this and do that. No, we need to be priced right. And it's not just pricing. This is not just you're pricing it wrong. This is the home is in poor condition. It hasn't been painted. It hasn't been staged correctly. It doesn't look transitional. That's class number 3. But so it's 2 things. It's preparing the house and it's pricing. So those are the 2 most important things. And that's what leads up to this. So I got to thinking, well, I usually say they lose 10% after 100 days. And if you look at that, it's $1,130. But it said, well, the house has already lost, the $500,000 house has lost 10% in 50 days. So what does the bigger houses do in 50 days? And here's your chart. So if you look at this chart, again, the purple is first 10 days. Look at all 3 of the one line is 30 to 60 days. The one line is 60 to 90 days. The other is 91 to 120 days. And there's not a lot of difference. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the loss occurs in the first 50 days. So if we don't sell that house in the first 10 days, so line 1 here, right in here, you can see that's the price per square foot. Line 2 is 31 to 60 days. So you see the average sale is 90%. So they in fact lose their 10% in the first 50 days. So now it's not a loss every day of $1,000 or $1,100 a day. It's really a loss of $2,200 a day. So now we framed the loss. Now we've backed up that you really need to sell your house in the first 10 days. So why don't they? Why are houses on for 113 days? Well, here's why.